So, first of all, how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. And
Okay,
you?
so I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so try hack me about the advent of cyber event. It was day three and it was about blue teaming. So, how was your experience creating that walkthrough, and how did you got to know that Try Hack Me is having this whole new woman lineup where you can sign up and create a video for them?
Okay. I got to know it first from community. I belong to a cybersecurity community. Click the link. The link was shared, so I clicked the link and I went. I signed up, and I got contacted to send my details and some other things. Then what was your second question? Oh, my walkthrough experience. Yeah, it was it was interesting because initially, you have to go through the room yourself before you start recording. Yeah, so going through it myself, the virtual site wasn't loading, so I had to use the virtual machine, the attack box. So I ended up using the attack box, and I was done with the walkthrough. And because I was day three, I was really pressed for time. Okay, so
Yeah.
I was done. Yeah, so I was done with the walkthrough on December 1st, and using the virtual box. And when I submitted it, telling me, nah, you have to go through the website. I was trying to explain that no, the website wasn't loading on my end. I waited and all of that. But then they rectified it, and I was able to redo the walkthrough but going via the virtual site. But it was a really interesting experience.
Okay, so how do you feel about the fact that the initial lineup for Try Hack Me, it was all men, and then like the community stood up to say that there should be a woman representation as well, and then they introduced a separate lineup. How do you feel about that initial lineup that had zero women?
Okay, to be honest, I wasn't aware of the initial lineup until the outreach, right? And well, to be fair, there were one or two creators that I saw, female creators, who said that TryHackMe actually reached out to them, but for personal reasons and stuff, they declined. So that in a way helped me see that it's their initial plan wasn't entirely, you know, an all male lineup or something. But yeah, there was always room for improvement, and it was really great that they listened to people and included women in the lineup, because cybersecurity generally is there are not a lot of women, I mean, compared to men in the field generally. So yeah, so I think it was really great that they took the correction, they listened, and then they had an all-female lineup for the first time, by the way. They had an all-female lineup, so yeah, everyone got to see themselves represented in some way.
Yeah, I also saw comments from multiple women creators saying that they were approached by TryHackMe, but they did not respond to them due to their own reasons. So it was still a good thing for TryHackMe to do like a whole new woman lineup, because we saw so many new faces that we did not even know about earlier. Like, I did not know about any one of them before that. I just knew about one girl, like who commented on Eva's post, the post that announced that we are having the woman lineup and you can sign up here. She was the only one I knew, and she signed up for that video walkthrough. Even though she did not got in, but she was the source. I got to know that okay, new woman lineup is coming, so I can sign up too. So all of the new faces were there, completely new. I did not know even one of them, so it was actually a very great experience. So if we talk about your cybersecurity journey, you actually transitioned from electrical engineering to cybersecurity. Like, you did a degree in electrical engineering, then you worked in this field, and then you made the transition to cybersecurity. Why?
Well, I I just felt like it was time for a change. And I electrical engineering is a really interesting field. It's not like one is better than the other. I just felt like, it's time for a change. And well, things fell in place and I found myself in cybersecurity.
Okay, so it was a random selection.
It wasn't random. I knew I wanted to leave, but finding the next thing to do was the problem. Okay. So I had to sit down, make a list. Okay, what am I actually interested in? Because I tried a few fields earlier, but not out of passion, but just this seems to be what's trending right now, you know. And it didn't
Yeah.
work out. And all those times I was trying things out, I didn't leave the engineering field, you know. So this time I knew I really wanted to leave. I wanted something else. And I decided this time that I was going to move based on what my passion was, what I was interested in. And I don't know if you're religious, but I also prayed about it. Okay. And so everything put together, I had to start making findings now, not based on what is trending, but what I'm actually interested in. So the whole concept of cybersecurity, I mean, my limited knowledge of cybersecurity then before I entered the field was actually it was something that I wanted to pursue because I mean there are things that always interested me about the field. Oh, how do they do this? How do you hack that? How do you, I mean, everybody knows about hacking before they get into cybersecurity. So it's something that always interested me, but I'd never really considered as a career until I decided, I had to move and get into cybersecurity. I realized, yeah, I see myself doing this like that.
Okay, so actually you spent quite a lot of time in your first field that was electrical engineering. And then when you thought that it's time for a change, when normally when people in working in their field have this thought of change, what they do is change their company, change their role, or like they try to go for a promotion. That is the change for them. But what you did was like putting all the effort behind and starting from zero. How did it go with that?
Well, it was not an easy decision, especially, investing so much time, energy, money, and all of that into um, that field. But it wasn't an easy decision, but I'm glad I had support, friends, family, and all of that. I had support. And like I said, I'm a bit religious. So, like I said, I prayed about it and I had peace in my heart. And I won't say it was an easy ride. That's a lie, but I mean,
Okay, so people around you are also very interested in what you're doing and what you're going to do when your parents, your family, your friends saw you doing this, like transitioning into a complete new field where you have to start from zero. What was your reaction for that?
well, I don't think anybody was really surprised that that happened because, like I said, I tried out a few things. So for like 2 years before I finally transitioned, I think the people around me already knew that I was going to leave the engineering field eventually. So when that happened, I think they were just happy I that I was making it as in I was leaving that I had found something that I wanted to pursue. Because like I said, I just tried the others out of what's trending, but like at this time it wasn't just me testing the waters. I was fully committed. This is what I want to do. So it was easy for them to accept it because like, hey, at least you found what you want to do. You're not just trying things out. So
Yeah. So actually, you chose blue teaming. When we get into cybersecurity, we'll like explore what the famous name for cybersecurity is hacking. Like this is such a fantasy that cybersecurity is hacking, while it is not. It is a collection of so many fields, and out of them all, you choose blue teaming. What was your motive behind blue teaming? Was it more interesting than others, or what was your motivation towards it?
well, it's again, I have to give credit to CyberSafe. Okay. I started my cybersecurity training there, and the training is structured in such a way that you get in, you're introduced to the basics, you're introduced to like 6, 7 areas, of cybersecurity, and then after about 3, 4 months, based on what you've done in the last 4 months, you get to pick, okay, this is what I actually want to do, you know. So that was what interested me. I think hacking is nice. Being on the red team is it's nice, but I'd rather be I'd rather be defense. I mean, I'd rather be on the defense team.
Okay, so now that you have experience of working in the field of cybersecurity, if you have to go through the process again, like you have to start studying again and then go for a job hunt, then how would you do that? What would be your approach to that?
Well, I am actually hunting for a permanent role right now. You know,
Okay,
yeah, I'm actually
interesting.
hunting for a permanent role right now. But like I said, the thing is, even without the work experience, in a lot of things can count as work experience. You might not have like a full-time employment, but I want to see what projects have you worked on. I mean, if I come and say, if you're a recruiter and I tell you, well, I haven't had a full-time job yet, but I've worked on this project, that project. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. It speaks, you might not have had the experience of working in an actual organization, but the projects we've worked on will speak.
Okay, so as you said that you are looking for a permanent role, so how is it going with the job hunt? Like, is it easy? How do you find that? It's completely not easy. I understand that.
No, it's not easy, but I refuse to get discouraged. Like I said, I just keep working on myself, working on this project, that project. I have a lot of half done projects, and I have like one or two that just reach completion. Last week I took my Security Plus exam and I passed. Um,
Yes, that's right. Congratulations
uh,
for that.
thank you. Yeah, so as much as it's not easy, no job is going to fall from the sky, But you always have to put yourself in the right environment. And if you keep getting interviews, is to sit down and think, okay, what was their feedback? And what can I improve on? And just keep working on that. So at least you'll be better for the next interviewer.
Okay, so as you just passed Security Plus, so what was the experience with that? And the most of the people who are getting into cybersecurity, they are freshers, like they are starting out in their field and they're students. They can't afford to have these certifications. And even what you did is like you put up a post explaining your previous certification experience, and then you said that if someone can sponsor my watch, it would be great. So what was the motive behind that? Like, how did you got the idea that I can ask for a sponsorship for my certification exam?
Yeah, well, you see, I it wasn't even an easy move for me. I think I made a post about it that just went live about 30 minutes ago. So it wasn't actually easy for me. I spoke with someone who said, okay, I just spoke with someone. I was like, look, I gave myself 2 years to get this certification. That's another thing. I wasn't in a hurry. I was like, I gave myself 2 years to get Security Plus, and it's almost 2 years. It's going to be 2 years in March. I haven't gotten this certification. What do I do? I think I want to put out a call, and person was like, the person asked me, why do you want to get the certification? I said, recruiters are always asking for, I mean, recruiters don't always ask, but when they do, they mention Security Plus or any other, so Security Plus is always mentioned. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. And she was like, so why do you think this certification is the only thing that can unlock an opportunity for you? And I said, well, I don't think it's the only thing that can unlock an opportunity for me. But being what it is, it's going to greatly um improve my chances. So I think after speaking with me, I think she saw that I didn't just want to get the certification for the sake of, oh, let me have something, because she asked me, what projects have you been working on? What else have you been doing? Things like that. And when I told her, okay, I've worked on this, I do this, I have this, and all of that, I'm sure, like, what? You can put out the call for it on LinkedIn. So I did. And I think 10 days after, someone at CompTIA reached out and sponsored me.
Yeah, that was actually a very brave move for you to like put up a post saying that I need sponsorship for my voucher. That was a brave thing to do. So, the students who are entering this field, and like you said, that recruiters are like listing certifications on job description, like security plus. Or other day, I was reading a job description. It says that you must have a entry level cybersecurity certification, and then they said CC or CISSP. Like they even don't know what the certification is.
Yeah,
What
sometimes it feels like even the recruiter doesn't know.
like they just want to see a certification on your resume. That's all. Like CC and CISSP, there is no comparison. CISSP is not for beginners. So
Exactly.
again, they just want a certification listed in your resume. And students who are already under student loan and they are entering this field, they need to do this certification because it can give them an upper hand in getting a job. So how do you recommend them doing this? Like they can't afford, most of them, to get a certification, but they need it.
Yeah, so I would say start with free ones. For instance, Security Plus is my third certification, right? I
Yeah.
have CC and I have BTL one. So start. I think CC was free at the time I did it. They're doing this 1 million whatever 1 million.
The in cybersecurity, it is a
Yes,
free. Yeah.
yeah. So it was so I did that for free, and I remember getting that certification and felt like wow, I finally have But
That one.
I also start with the free ones. But before you even get the before you can even afford a certification, take courses, take a lot of courses. Especially if the course offers. For instance, I could say before I took the exam, I could say, oh, I'm trained. I don't have the security plus, but at least I'm trained. I have a certificate to show it, and that's because there's a CompTIA SYO 701 course on infosec, right? So I took that and they gave me a certificate. I mean, it's just a training, but at least I've been trained well enough to take the exam and all of that. So it takes do a lot of courses, especially all these Google courses, Microsoft, infosec. Just take courses. At least you can list your courses as you can list it under relevant trainings. So even if an employer sees that okay, you don't have the certificate yet, but at least you've taken trainings and you have the certificates to show for this course, this course, this course, this course, this course. But I mean, they can see on your CV that you just entered the field. So I mean, if you make it through ATS, they can see it on your CV that you just entered the field. So they are really not expecting you to have all those certifications, right? For instance, I'm going to give an example. I applied for a job sometime last year and they were going to take me. The only reason why they didn't take me was my location, right? And how I landed that role was even speaking, I didn't have security plus. I don't think I had my BTL one as at that time, but they could see that taking I think I had like 12 courses certificates listed on my resume and speaking with me to them they saw the passion according to them. I'm just giving you their feedback, so even if you can't have the certification yet, especially because they're just coming in, take courses. There are a lot of free courses out there. Take courses and take the free certificates you can get. They might not be the popular name brand CompTIA and all of that, but if it's a certification, I mean, you could do your research on it, and if it's free, you can take it. You know.
Okay, so as you said about courses, there is a course by Google, Google Certified in Cybersecurity. That is a 6 month long course. Have you been like experienced with that? Did you saw the content? What are your thoughts on that?
No, I can't speak on that because I never took the course and I haven't seen the content.
Okay, so actually, the advice you gave about listing courses, that is something that can be valuable to people because they don't list the courses. There are multiple courses the students are taking to enhance their skills. Like there are multiple many on NetAcad, Cisco Academy, and they take it, but they never show it anywhere because they think that they are not worthy enough to be shown off because they are not a famous name and not like, of course Cisco is a famous name, but it is not like in that sense that it is a well-known certified thing.
Yeah,
There,
and I think that's a mistake. Oh, sorry, did I cut you off?
no, no.
Okay. And I think that's a mistake because of all the courses that I took, um, I don't know how many they are, but assuming there are 12, I would say that nine of them are from Cisco. Really? I think it's an error not to list your trainings on your CV, especially if you're just starting out and you don't have, the certificates, professional certifications. I think it's an error. I actually used to do that. I used to leave it off my CV, but someone spoke to me and confidence stably actually. Let me just mention her name. She spoke to me and she looked at my CV and I said, you've had so many trainings. You've had so many trainings. Why are they not listed on your CV? I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that,
I can do
And
that.
I started getting more callbacks after I listed that. I mean, it's not going to work like magic, right? But I'm just saying it helps.
It is still gonna improve your chances of getting in because I
Yeah.
said, oh, okay, so the courses are free. You can take it. You can list them on your CV, and the CC certification is also free. You have done that. What was your experience with that, and what would you recommend someone who is preparing for that to do?
Well, it was easy. That's the only way I can explain it. I took it. I started my cybersecurity training in March. I took it in September. So, for anyone who is going to take the exam, again, I understand that we all have different learning capacities and all of that. So please don't take my word as gospel. But I'm just going to say what worked for me was I just read the content and I'd been taking other courses on Cisco as well. So it's not like everything in content was totally new to me at the time, but to prepare for the exam, all I read was just the content. Because there's a free course that comes with the certification, like you can take this course before you take the exam. So yeah, that course was basically all I read to prepare for the exam.
So when we're talking about free resources, we have Cisco that provides multiple courses. Apart from that, what are some sources that are free to use, free to take advantage from, that you would recommend to someone getting into this field?
Okay. Apart from Cisco, um Google, like we mentioned earlier, there are some free courses on Udemy. There are Oh yeah, you can do Try Hack Me. You can do Try Hack Me actually. Yeah, Try Hack Me is practical, hands-on, learning and gamified, so you enjoy it. You can do Try Hack Me. What else can you what else can you study with? Okay, there's Let's Defend. Although all of these have their premium subscription, you can also pay for premium, but you can learn with them for free too. So there's Let's Defend. Um, which are the ones? Those are the ones that come to mind right now.
As a person working in cybersecurity, like there is a very common myth that it is all about hacking. Do you ever get requests like, can you hack this account and can you hack that account?
Oh my god, yes. Someone recently asked me to hack another person's bank account because the person owed her some money. I'm like,
We can divide the money.
the person owed her some money. So he said, please can you help me hack into this person's account, person bank account? The person owes me some money and I think he's intentionally not paying me back. So I've gotten that before. I think all my requests have always been about hacking for money, like hacking bank accounts. And I think I'm just realizing that now. But I've gotten on different, someone else got scammed and said, oh, I just realized I just paid money to this person and it's a scam. Can you hack um can you hack their bank account to reverse the money back? Okay, I think I got one request once saying asking me to hack their ex-girlfriend's social
Yeah,
media
this
account.
like, can you hack my ex's account, please? And a last question for someone who is just starting out in this field, like if they are in the learning phase or they're done learning and they are now going for a job hunt, what would be your one recommendation for them?
um I'll wait, recommendation or advice? I just want to get that right.
Anyone?
Okay, number one, prepare to be disappointed.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, prepare to be disappointed, and it's not always a reflection of your, sometimes a reflection of your skill though, but it's not always a reflection of your skill. Yeah, so just prepare to be disappointed. Know that you might be here for a long time. And while you're job hunting, don't wait until you get an opportunity. This is cybersecurity. Something new is happening every day. I mean, you could release a patch this morning and realize by evening that hackers have found a way around it. So something new is always happening every day. So you have to make sure that you're also on top of your game, even though you haven't gotten a job yet, but I mean you're up to date on like the most recent happenings. I mean, you can't keep track of who got hacked and all of that, but I mean, critical information. This happened this week, or this happened last week, this happened 2 weeks ago. Just make sure that you're always on top of your game, so that when you eventually land a job, you won't be just catching up. You have less catching up to do.
So it is an actually a very good advice. I know someone who talked about a very recent incident in a YouTube video, and from that video, this channel picked up. Like they started getting views and subscribers and everything. So it also goes in the way that if you are keeping yourself updated with all the information and news, maybe talk about it as well on your different social networks. That can be LinkedIn or anyone you prefer,
Oh
and
yeah,
people will,
that's good advice too.
yeah, people will notice you and they will see, okay, this person is keeping themselves up to date, and this person, if they're hiring, they can actually consider you for the role because of your that active participation in the field. So it is actually a very great advice to keep yourself up to date and then keep speaking about it as well, so people know that you are up to date. So with that, thank you so much, Sabar, for taking the time to do this. It was such a fun chat to be with you, and it was such an amazing experience.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you. It was nice speaking with you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right, keep in touch.